Also more now on one of our other main stories this evening, and campaigners are warning that self-regulation of the gambling industry is failing because problem gamblers are still able to circumvent the systems in place and open new betting accounts. Now, the government is currently considering reforming the industry, but have yet to release their white paper on their proposals. Well, Will Prochaska is the strategy director at Gambling with Lives, a charity set up by families left bereaved by gambling-related suicides. Will, good to have you with us this evening, and thank you for your time. We're still waiting on this white paper. It's been delayed many times. I mean, what are the key measures in it that you think the government needs to bring forward?
Well, you're right. We've been waiting over 2 years for it now. And in that time, at least 1,000 people have died because of gambling-related suicide. And the industry has run off with over £30 billion of losses of UK customers. So it's been a long wait. We are now expecting it tomorrow. And we're starting to hear leaks and the content of it is starting to be trailed. And it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a tipping point, actually, for regulation of gambling in the UK, largely because of the acknowledgement by the government. It sounds like the government are about to acknowledge two really important things. The first is that products cause the harm. So some gambling products are really addictive and they're designed to be addictive, and that's where the harm is caused. And that goes against the way that gambling has been regulated for many years, which has been based on the idea that some people are vulnerable to harm. That's a nonsense. Anybody can get addicted to addictive products. And it looks like the other acknowledgement the government are going to make is that the industry can't be trusted. And they have traditionally been able to set their own safer gambling messaging. They have controlled which organisations provide research, education and treatment for gambling disorder. And it looks like the government are finally going to act on that and say that the industry must be removed and that those things must be run independently. So those will represent a really important moment, but it also looks...
Sorry, no, Will, please continue.
Well, it looks sadly like the government will be wanting in a couple of other areas. So we're going to have to work with them very hard over the years to come. And it looks like the biggest gaps in their reforms are going to be around things like advertising. So we're hearing that the government is deciding not to take any action at all on gambling advertising, which will put them completely out of step with the British public, the majority of whom want to see a complete ban on gambling ads. So there's going to be work to do there. And the other issue that we're starting to hear is that almost all of the policies that they're going to present tomorrow are going to have to go to another consultation. Now, we finished a consultation back in March 2021 for the Gambling Act review, and they've sat on that for 2 years, as I said, during which time so many people have died and millions have been harmed. So it's really frustrating to hear that these new policies, as they're announced, are going to have to be consulted on again. So, it's really time for the UK government and the Gambling Commission to shape up and get on with it, because we need action now.
I mean, what level do you think those addictive games are going to be set at? Are you talking about the stakes that can be allowed?
Our understanding is that action is going to be taken on stake limits, and we're hearing rumours that online stake limits are going to be consulted on between £2 and £15. £15 would be a nonsense. You could lose £15 every 2.5 seconds on an online slot machine. There are very few people in this country who could afford to do that. It's extremely addictive activity, so it needs to be much closer to the £2 level.
And Will, sorry to interrupt you. We don't have loads of time, but I do want to get one more question to you. You talked about affordability checks needs to be at a preventative level. I mean, what does that mean? Like, what kind of level does that affordability need to be at?
Affordability needs to be at sort of net losses of about £100 a month for it to be preventative. We don't believe that the government are going to come close to that. We're hearing rumours of things like people losing £1,000 a day would be when the first affordability check would come in, which frankly won't be preventative. At least they've accepted that people shouldn't be lured into unaffordable losses. We're going to have to push them very hard to get those levels down to something which is reasonable. OK, Will Prochaska from Gambling with Lives. Sorry to rush you through that, but I think you made lots of your points, and we will see tomorrow if, in fact, the government do publish that white paper. Really appreciate your time, Will. Thank you for joining us this evening. Look forward to it.
Thank you. All right.